Some people carry the world on their backs, yet never whisper a word about the weight crushing them. They smile like nothing hurts. They move like nothing scares them. But deep down, they're fighting silent battles they don't believe anyone would care to understand. And the saddest part is, somewhere along the way, they learned that asking for help is dangerous. Before we continue, please like, comment, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's story. There are people who move through life like quiet storms, strong, composed, seemingly unbreakable. But behind that calm exterior lives a lifetime of unspoken lessons. Don't need anyone. Don't show weakness. Don't burden others. This is a psychological journey into the minds of those who suffer silently, tracing how childhood conditioning shaped their independence, how fear of rejection silences their voice, and how healing begins when they finally learn that vulnerability is not a threat, but a bridge. In this video, we'll explore how emotional self-reliance is formed, the hidden wounds that create it, the walls it builds, and the slow, courageous journey back to trust. This self-reliant persona begins long before adulthood, long before they become the dependable friend, the quiet achiever, or the emotionally unavailable partner. Their independence didn't begin as strength, it began as survival. For many people who never ask for help, childhood was their first emotional battlefield. They grew up in environments where vulnerability wasn't met with care. It was met with silence, dismissal, or punishment. Maybe they cried and no one came. Maybe they asked for comfort but were told to stop being dramatic. Maybe they watched the adults around them crumble under stress and instinctively learned, I must not add to the chaos. Whatever form it took, the message was the same. Your emotions are yours alone. Handle them. Hide them. Carry them. Their brains adapted early. Psychologists call this hyper-independence, a coping mechanism that forms when a child realizes that depending on others is unsafe. This isn't the independence of confidence, it's the independence of necessity. It's the child who ties their own wounds, who solves their own fears, who learns to parent themselves emotionally because nobody else will. You can imagine them at 7 years old, staring at their broken toy, but quietly sweeping up the pieces so nobody gets mad. You can imagine them at 10, sitting in their room trying to hold back tears because crying for no reason only leads to criticism. You can imagine them at 14, understanding things about family stress that no child should carry, thinking, if I just stay strong, things won't get worse. These early lessons created a template. Don't ask for help. Don't show needs. Don't show cracks. Handle everything alone. Their brain became wired for self-protection, not connection. They carried this template into adolescence, where independence felt like both a shield and a cage. Teachers praised them for being so mature. Friends saw them as the stable one. Family members relied on them more than they realized. And every time they handled something alone, the belief got stronger. You only have yourself. By adulthood, this belief was no longer a coping mechanism. It had become their entire identity. And yet, beneath that identity, a small, aching part of them still longs to be held, understood, and supported. But childhood had already written the rules. Wanting help is dangerous, needing others is risky, and vulnerability is an open wound. By the time they reach adulthood, the world sees them as strong, sometimes too strong. They're the person who says, I'm fine, with flawless consistency. They've learned to fix everything alone, to never inconvenience anyone, to swallow hardship like medicine. But behind this calm exterior hides a deep, unspoken fear. What if I ask for help and they reject me? Even if they don't say it out loud, the fear lives in every thought. People who never ask for help often believe that needing someone is equivalent to burdening them. In their mind, asking for support feels like handing someone a loaded question. Will you stay or will you leave? Will you care or will you dismiss me? Rejection isn't just a no. It's a reminder of childhood lessons. It's proof that their needs are too much. It's evidence that vulnerability is unsafe. Psychologists call this anticipated rejection. The brain predicts the pain before it happens, so it prevents the situation entirely. This is why some people would rather drown in silence than risk someone seeing them struggle. The inner dialogue sounds like, they have their own problems. It's not that serious. I don't want to seem weak. If I need help, maybe I'm failing. What if they judge me? This fear becomes so ingrained that even small requests, like asking a friend for a favor or admitting they're overwhelmed, feels like stepping off a cliff. So they cope by becoming even more independent. They work harder. They take on more responsibility. They become the reliable one for others. They help everyone but themselves. And every time someone praises their strength, a part of them tightens the emotional armor. They don't realize that being praised for independence can actually deepen emotional isolation. The world loves their resilience, but never sees how lonely it feels. People who don't ask for help are not emotionally strong. They are emotionally trained. Trained to survive. Trained to avoid rejection. Trained to believe love must be earned, not offered freely. And their silence becomes a language built not from confidence, but from fear. Hyper-independence feels powerful at first, but eventually it becomes suffocating. By adulthood, the person who learned to never need anyone begins to pay a psychological price. The world relies on them, but they rely on no one. On the outside, they seem unshakable, calm in chaos, collected under pressure, always ready to help. But internally, they're exhausted, emotionally drained, tired of being the strong one, tired of pretending they have everything under control, and tired of carrying burdens that were never meant to be carried alone. But here's the trap. Admitting exhaustion feels like failure. Asking for help feels like betrayal of their identity. Rest, softness, vulnerability, these things don't feel safe. This is how independence becomes a prison. They want connection, but they push people away. They want closeness, but they hide their feelings. They want someone to ask, "Are you really okay?" But when someone does, they respond, "Yeah, don't worry about me." Their relationships often become one-sided. They pour into others but rarely receive anything back because no one sees their needs. People assume they're always okay. People assume they don't struggle. People assume their strength means lack of pain. But strength without support turns into loneliness. A loneliness so quiet, it's almost invisible. Eventually, the body begins to protest. Anxiety builds. Sleep becomes restless. Stress becomes chronic. Emotions leak out in unexpected ways. Irritability, numbness, sudden tears, emotional shutdown, loss of motivation. The mask of strength cracks, but instead of asking for help, they isolate even more. Hyperindependence is not a personality trait. It's a trauma response. Healing begins not by being stronger, but by unlearning the belief that asking for help is weakness. It begins by recognizing that emotional walls, built for protection, eventually become barriers that keep love and support out. Healing is never a dramatic moment. It's often a quiet shift, a gentle permission, a small step towards softness. For people who never learn to ask for help, healing begins with one simple realization. You are not meant to survive everything alone. Now let's explore the slow, powerful journey of rebuilding trust. 1. Understanding the wound. Healing starts when they finally recognize where their fear came from. Childhood taught them to hide their needs, but adulthood lets them rewrite those rules. For the first time, they begin to see their independence not as strength, but as armor. And armor is heavy. 2. Allowing support. The next step isn't asking for help, it's allowing small acts of support. Letting someone hold the door. Accepting a compliment. Admitting, "I'm tired." These small openings teach their nervous system that vulnerability doesn't always lead to danger. 3. Asking for help, slowly. This is where fear meets bravery. Asking for help for the first time feels terrifying. But when someone responds with kindness, not rejection, the brain begins to heal old wounds. One safe moment rewrites years of emotional conditioning. 4. Learning interdependence. Healthy relationships are not built on one person carrying everything. They're built on mutual support. Learning to lean on others becomes a radical act of self-compassion. It is here that they understand the truth. Asking for help is not a burden, it's a bridge. 5. Softness as strength. The final stage is reclaiming vulnerability as a form of courage. They begin to understand that letting others in doesn't weaken them, it frees them. The weight they carried alone becomes lighter when shared. The people who never ask for help are not cold or distant. They are wounded. They learned early that silence protects them, that independence keeps them safe, that vulnerability invites harm. But healing whispers a different truth. You deserve support. You deserve softness. You deserve to be held, not just to hold everything together. The journey is not about becoming less independent, but about remembering that strength is not measured by how much you can carry alone, but by how bravely you choose to let others walk beside you. Thank you for watching.